Today we're going to talk about email deliverability versus inbox placement. First thing we're going to talk about is, why does this matter?
All ESPs report on deliverability, which is the percentage of the emails that were sent which are delivered to the ISP. At that point, we want to know what the ISP, your Comcast, your Gmails, your Hotmails do with that email. And inbox placement is the measurement of how many of those emails hit the consumer's inbox as opposed to spam.
And Josh, don't you think it's safe to say that most people have the misconception by looking at their ESP and saying, oh, I have 99.9% deliverability, that they're doing really well, right? Because they don't really know what the inbox placement is, because they haven't gone that far to actually measure that.
That's exactly right. And just because your ESP says that you have 99% deliverability, we may look into inbox placement using some of these third-party tools and see that inbox placement is really only about 70%, meaning 30% of all the emails that a company is sending is going into the consumer spam folder, which more than likely won't be seen. We use a number of third-party tools to really get to the bottom of what a client's inbox placement rate is. And if it's bad, there are a number of things that we can do to improve it.
There are many different ways that we can work on improving inbox placement. One of the very first fundamental things is looking at how hard bounces are handled within the platform. What we like to do is make sure that those hard bounces are being suppressed in subsequent sends, because ultimately, if you continue to send hard bounces to a person's email and you're not suppressing those, you're kind of removing them from there, the ISPs get a chance to feel like, hey, this is probably a spammer because they don't know that this person's not engaged. They have asked to be unsubscribed, so all of a sudden you start taking a dive in your inbox placement. So the thing that we need to do is to make sure those hard bounces are actually suppressed and removed immediately from the list as soon as they happen. This way you help build your reputation of actually sending real emails to people that actually exist.
When you have that poor reputation, then the ISP will put you in the spam folder.
And that's correct. That's exactly right. And so sometimes when you get into that spam folder, it's hard to get out.
So what happens if inbox placement still doesn't improve? Is there anything else we can do?
Absolutely. A lot of clients at times think that inbox placement improvement can occur overnight. Well, that's simply not the case, right? We have to look at a short-term and long-term approach. Sometimes, depending upon the client's needs, this could take, 3 to 4 months, or it could take up to 6 months. So what can we do? There are all alternatives based upon the type of emails that you're sending. Say, for example, you're sending a lot of acquisition emails to people that haven't necessarily been engaged, which are probably affecting your inbox placement. Why not set up a different IP to actually send from? Doing an analysis of the data file that you have and how people are interacting, we can help determine which is the best route for you.
So going back to the reputation, and having a good reputation has a better chance of your emails hitting the inbox, setting up that separate IP or that new domain can help build that reputation.
As well, yep. And actually send from multiple IPs, depending upon the type of email messages you're sending and how engaged people are with that message. Set up that new IP address and migrate over your most active, most engaged brand loyalist to that IP address. Meanwhile, we can still try to work on improving the old IP address as well, have multiple IPs that you can continue to send from, and they kind of change based upon the segment you're sending to. Obviously, the most engaged, the new IP that we warmed up, kind of helped correct it. And while we try to improve the older IP that has the issues, we could try to monitor that one. So Josh, knowing this, how do you think we can leverage this information to our clients?
A lot of clients are blind to inbox placement rate. They rely on deliverability, which, as we've discussed, doesn't really tell the whole story. Any clients that we have that we're leveraging email for, we should always monitor inbox placement rate. It's also a great tool to use for prospective new clients. A lot of times we hear, well, what's inbox placement rate? And being able to show a client that has a poor inbox placement rate kind of opens their eyes. So that's our recap on email deliverability and inbox placement. If you have any questions, or we have any current clients or potential clients who may benefit from an inbox placement report, please reach out to us and we're happy to provide that information.
Thanks again for watching, and if you have any questions, let us know.